Thank you, guys. Thank you, Renee, for putting this event together. I have my daughter. I want to introduce her to y'all. Her name is Lauren. We call her Lorenka. She's 3, going to be 4. Can you wait, Jason? She's not in kinder yet, so she's not skipping school. She's supposed to be at home, so I brought her today to this nice event. And Renee does a wonderful job getting these things together, because a lot of times we're running 100 miles an hour in administration, and you know, if it wouldn't be for Renee, we wouldn't be able to get these things done. So thank you, Renee. Everybody give her a big hand. You know, at the city, as she was putting this on, and give me can we do this? I'm like, yeah, you can do it before I even knew what it was, because anytime Renee says, can we do something, it's always good. So I just say yes most of the time, right? Well, and I was looking at it, and I thought about what happens at work on the 3rd floor. We have a majority of women. On the 1st floor, majority of women as well. Never really thought about the numbers. It's just, that's the way it works. That's what happens now. The 2nd floor, majority of women too. And what I wanted to share with you guys is, we have 4 people on the 2nd floor, myself and 3 women. And so that's my whole world at work. And then I go home. I got a wife and 2 daughters, 5 and 3. So it happens at home too. But really, thank you guys for being here. Wanted to just share one more thing. You know, I was thinking about equity, equality, and all that, but at home, I don't think that really applies, because we have 3 bathrooms at home, and my wife has one, I have one, and the girls have one, but mine's the one that gets used by everybody. We have 3 bedrooms at home, and it seems like I have to share the bedroom with my wife and my 2 daughters. The playroom, it's not mine. The kitchen is shared. So really, I think, you know, there's no equity. Yeah, there's no equity.
Equality.
But anyway, thank you guys for being here, and I look forward to listening to our guest speaker as well. So thank you.
I hope it's okay what I put together. Just wanted to share some of the sentiments, especially with what we have gone through with history with women and their struggles. So, I am honored to join you on this day of celebration of women. It is amazing and humbling that we as women have come so far, but yet not close enough to the levels we deserve and the opportunities that are given to our male counterparts. We must continue to forge ahead and fight for equality and equity in our society. We today honor those women that fought for our rights to vote and just to be seen. I come before you holding the highest seat in our city, this being the leader of our city's governing body, and yet knowing that we all have faced daily have been faced with inequalities. It is a shame that this still occurs in our society. We have had to work harder to accomplish the same goals that our male counterparts have had to do for the same result. Do not feel sorry for us or get a sense of defeat from hearing this. Instead, I ask you to rise up and be heard. Support each other as women. We owe it to those that will come after us. We are the ones that will pave the road for our future generations of daughters, nieces, and granddaughters, and our women of the world. May our works, words, prayers, and kindness create a better future for the women that will come after us. We are powerful in numbers and togetherness. Let us move forward together and fight for our rights and the right to equity in this world. We are worth it. I say to you and those that came before us, we now thank all of your hard work, because we now know what our worth is. Onward and forward, we offer plenty to this world and our communities. So many blessings to all, and embrace equity. Thank you.
Hello, it's such an honor to be here before all of you, which I call my friends and my family as a city. So, I did this morning wake up, thinking it is International Women's Day. And usually I wake up and, I say a prayer, of course, but these words came to me and I just kind of was highlighting some of the words that meant something to me. So I wrote it down just in case I wasn't going to be here, because I was actually at Rotary judging a 4-ways test speech contest, which included 2 young ladies from our high school. Just goes to show you, that these women, start out young and they're impactful. I mean, Michael's enjoying, sharing his home with with his little girls, and we grow up and we share our city with each other. So, thank you all for allowing me to speak a little bit, but I'm going to read what I wrote here real quick. I wish each and every one of you a happy and blessed International Women's Day. And I wrote a little something called Woman. She is valuable. She is strong, independent, smart, confident, and talented in every single way. She is a daughter, a sister, a mother, an aunt, a friend, and so much more. She is a wonderful woman that deserves love, respect, and honor. It is not because of her gender, but because she has her own identity. As she wakes up each day, she accepts this value. She has a purpose and brings this value to our home, our work, our community, and to this beautiful world that we live in. This is just a few reasons why we, women, exist. So let us go out and live a beautiful, fulfilled life being this woman. So I ask that you enjoy your day, and God bless y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. And this is a wonderful time and great time for all of us. When I think of women, I think about people that impacted your life. And I want you to take the time. Who impacted your life? And for me, it was my mom. And so when you think of those things, what they meant to you, how and why am I here today? A lot of times you can easily go to my father, go to someone, but it was my mother that impacted my life. I lost my mom 2 weeks ago. So that is a hole in my heart, right, that you miss out on. And you'll miss out. And for some of you that have experienced what I've experienced, you're going to miss those times. But for women, we talk about equality. When I think of my girls, right, I think about the girls that work with me, the girls that we work together. They have, they've made a complete difference in our community. When you think of law enforcement, for example, you know that 11.5% of women make up law enforcement in the state of Texas. 11.5%. Here in Alice, we have 4 officers. And if you don't mind, would you please say Alex, Bianca, would you please, Miss Selena, where's Selena at? Would you please, so, good job, thank you, you can sit down. They embody what each of us want in life. They're out there in the streets, and what a lot of times we forget is that their moms, this isn't just their job. They go home and they have another job too. They take care of their children. They raise their children. And then they come to work to take care of the community. And so for that, I salute you and I thank you for everything that you do. A lot of times we forget that. I always tell them when they sit in my office, because I call them one by one, and we'll sit down in the office and we'll talk about the issues that we face. And I always tell them, if you have issues, if you have a problem, never forget your home. It's always your home. Make sure your home is strong, because without the leadership or our home not being strong, we won't get where we need to get. So I really stress to them on that. I thank you for being a mother. The greatest impact in my life was my mom. So I ask you to continue to fight for equality, and that's every single day. But I'd like to just share with you, with us here, or the officers that we do have. We have Sergeant Bettis. I know she's not here today, but she is also one of our female officers. Ms. Reynolds, Officer Reynolds, who just stood up for us. Thank you so much. Detective Rodriguez and Officer Estringel. Officer Estringel is the newest one to our staff. And so thank you for everything you do. For our administration, on the administration side, I do have a wonderful individual who does everything. I can't complain. Anita Martinez, thank you for everything you do. Ms. Trigo, Leo Trigo, we have Melissa Schilling, Maria Mireles, Brianna Rivera, Charlina Garcia, Nelisa Espinosa. Total of 11 females that I have working for us today. Thank you for everything that you do. You serve our community well. I am proud to be your chief, but more than anything, I'm proud to be your friend. And that's where it all starts. But always remember, don't ever forget the people that impacted your life. And for me, it was my mom, and I hope you have the same, hold the same for you and the people that impacted you. It means a lot. I could go on and talk about my mother, but it'll break me to tears. The reality is that, and one thing I'd like to share with you also, is that when we think of women in law enforcement, it's not just about chasing cars, it's not about gunfights, and it's not about wrestling people down, right? It's about helping others. And honestly, they do a great job, and they're always there to help others. So again, thank you so much for everything. Miss Juana, I know I saw Miss Juana here. She's, where are you at, ma'am? I want to thank you personally for everything you do. You're there every day. Muchas veces estás ahí y nunca te hablo el orgullo por todo lo que le vas a hacer. So thank you all, to all of you, and if we could ever help you, serve you, that's what we're here for. And continue. Thank you, Renee, you did a great job, and thank you for always being a sounding board, and thank you for everything you do.
Sure. Thank you so much.
It's truly an honor to be here. I come from very humble beginnings. I think the international peace comes from being a daughter of Mexican.
So I come from two worlds, the Mexican side and the US side. I was born in Brownsville, Texas, but the heritage of our parents is that you take care of your grandparents, your parents. So I was raised in Matamoros, border town to Brownsville, Texas. I feel very humble and honored to be here with you. And the most amazing thing is to have a child in the center of this session. International sounds very sophisticated. We are international. Just the fact that you connect to your phone, you're already accessing the world. We already connected. All of us are international. But then international can be sophisticated or superficial. I hope I can relay the message that someone made a difference in my life. I come from poverty. I come from dysfunctional family. And I love my parents. He was an alcoholic. He was not highly educated. He was a macho man. But he still did provide for us the best of his ability. My mother, a woman that is very submissive, raised in Mexico, you learn to, the majority is to be a submissive wife. Your husband tells you he is the king of the house. But I always admire how my mother would tell us, just because I put up with your dad doesn't mean that I want you to put up with your husbands. I want you to have a voice. I want you to be somebody. And you know how she related this somebody? My father was a good person to save money. Every penny to go to the bank every Monday. He got paid on Friday, they made the payments, and it was 10 pesos. Those pesos will be deposited to the bank. So some of us will walk to the bank, and my mother will tell us, she'll take one of us with her. She never went by herself because my dad was jealous. So she had to take somebody with her. And she will tell us this, Reina, that's Hispanic name. That's what I want for you. I don't want you to work in the fields like we do. I want you to find a job where you can be in an office, where you can wear heels, where you can be in air conditioning. And she'll tell this to my brother, I want you in an office. So that was her way. She didn't know that an education was the key, but she knew that there's other places where she wanted us to be. I was in Matamoros raised because we're taking care of our grandparents. That's what you do. And the law changed where you could no longer go to public schools if you were a citizen. You can go to private schools, and my parents could not afford it. And I would always be thankful to my dad that says education is important. So we're moving to Brownsville. Parents at that time had passed away, and he said, this is the time for us to go and live in Brownsville, so you can continue going to school. So that was admirable that he was willing to make a sacrifice to move us from Matamoros to Mexico for an education. So that's when the greatest gift of my parent, of my dad, even though he was a macho and controlled us and didn't let us go, he valued education. And that was the key to the end of a cycle of poverty, a cycle of you become submissive, and I'm very proud of who we have become as a family. Not everything is easy in life. And I know I don't know why we get into this, but that's history. We cannot change history. The equity, the inequality, the quality of life, the man versus woman, we're all interdependent. We are connected. So sometimes we make it a bigger issue than what it is. But unfortunately, there is inequality. In my world, I can be a superintendent, and this is a true story. I will get paid less than my previous superintendent because he was a male. A 40,000 gap. Previous superintendent making 150. I get hired to do the same job with a PhD for 110,000. So there is inequity. There is, for women, look at right now in our public schools, the majority are female teachers. But how many are really in top level positions? So there is inequity. There is some discriminatory practices. But this is not a time to be fighting. This is a time for us to be empowering each other. Not just woman empowering woman. It's about everyone coming together. And I know the heart of a father is going to want the best for his daughters. That's why we only have 3 daughters. I wanted a boy, but my husband could not fulfill that dream. I wanted a boy. I have so many godsons, and one literally is my godson that's been with me for the past 5 years, and he's my private. God gave me a son, and that's my godson, Gerardo Rodriguez. So he adores our daughters, and I adore them too. But my vision for my children is that they have a better world than I have. That they don't have to be paid less. They don't have to be more submissive. Because there is expectations of us females that are not expected from males. So there is a different criteria. But how do we change this? And I know you want to know a little bit about my story, and I'm going to go quick. It's a long story, but I'm going to go real quick. Who am I? I'm a daughter of 2 Mexican parents. Highest education degree was my father's 2nd grade. My mom 1st grade. Really can read and write, basically. Migrated to the United States, and even when we were living in Matamoros, we were migrant workers in the field. So I'm a migrant daughter. I'm not afraid of work. Now my kids tell me, you get paid to talk. That's all you do on the phone. You don't work, you just get paid thousands and thousands to talk. They don't see me the hard work because they're not being in the migrant fields. And I know how to work hard. And I tell you, in sixth grade, when we transitioned to, when the sixth grade changed, in order for you to go to secondary schools, you have to be a US citizen from Mexico. If not, you go to private schools. They couldn't afford private schools, so we came to Brownsville. Automatically, I was retained sixth grade. Even though in Mexico, I was the #1, competed at a state competition. #1 student in all, not like here that we do math and science, all content areas. And I was #1. Get enrolled, automatically placed back in sixth grade. And you know those groupings of students? The group A, B, C, D. D is gonna be the lowest. And the only language that I can show that I was smart was math. I didn't know English. So automatically, I'm placed in the lowest with the discipline problems. And that was the labeling. And then, to top it off, you don't know English, they call you mojada, wetback. What are you doing here? Go back to Mexico. Kids, now we call it bullying. We call it name calling. And you know, those words hurt. And I wanted to quit school. For the first time, I loved school. That was my entertainment. So I had to let, and then I told my mom, I want to quit school. And my father said, you know what it means? You're going to have to work. I said, I don't care. Well, you can't work until you're 60. I knew, I was 14 at the time, 13. I knew it was 3 more years that I was going to quit school. I had to sustain it for 3 years because in my mind, I wasn't afraid of working. I could work and be happy because in the fields, I was happy. I felt productive and not with the label and making fun of. And I still have this accent that I cannot get over. They label me everything you can imagine. Limited English proficient, economic disadvantaged, average student, and refer to a speech because I didn't know the language. So special ed to top it off. At the end of sixth grade, this is my second year, remember? One in Matamoros, one in Brownsville. I didn't learn the language in 1 year. You're gonna be recommended for retention. 3 years in sixth grade, automatically. And what happens? You're now overage. You don't fit in with the student because you are overage. So I hated that last year with all my passion. And I met a teacher, Mr. Horn, who I at that time hated him. Hated him with passion. He was mean, demanding, pushed me to talk English. I would say, quiero al baño. He said, don't understand Spanish. Find somebody and to tell you, to come and tell me. He pushed me to speak English. Needless to say, at the end of the year, we take those STAR tests now, at the time was teens. I scored very high. And he was very proud of it. And he, for the first time in his life, told me in Spanish, I'm proud of you, estoy orgullosa. And I look at him, you speak Spanish? All this time I asked him to go to the restroom to say, don't speak Spanish? He was very fluent in Spanish. He just gave me tough love and didn't give me a Band-Aid. He pushed me. Well, I'm not happy. I'm not happy that he did that to me. So this is the end, and he says, I'm proud of you, you went to 7th grade, I'm gonna recommend this, I don't care. Go to 7th grade, my first day of school, guess who I see? Mr. Horn. And I said, Mr. Horn, are you moving over here? And he says, no, I just came to see your classes. My classes? Yeah, I see that you're in remedial courses. You need to be in honors. Honors? Yes, well, the only way to be in honors has to take out a bilingual education. My friend didn't know any better. He gets the papers, goes to my parents, talks to them. You need to take Maria out of bilingual so she can be in honor classes. Hated him the more. And I tell him, he takes time after school to go and says, now you've been moved. And I tell him, why do you hate me? And I was in tears. You taking me away from my friends. Why do you hate me? What have I done? And he says, Maria, I don't hate you. But it's okay for you to hate me. Because I'd rather you hate me than I hate myself. Because you deserve. You are a hard worker, you have intelligence, and you need to be in honors. And you can excel. Last time that I ever saw Mr. Horn, and as a teenager, I continued to hate him until now as an adult and as an educator. My own children, my friends know about Mr. Horn. He will live forever in my heart, in my mind, because thanks to him, I started an educational program that was rigorous. They moved me to be a National Honor Society. By the end of the year, I was in NHS, graduated top 3 in my class, acquired scholarships. They could not have happened thanks to Mr. Horn, who I hated, and now I adore. And I look up for him. Of course, he's now dead, and I'm 57. So, but regardless, someone like that showed how much he cared about me, a young Mexican girl, Mexican American. And I ask you, what have I accomplished? Now, go back to my parents. Now I'm a graduate. I have opportunities for colleges. Ohio State University, you're a migrant worker, 100% tuition, 100% dorm. Texas A&M, it used to be Texas A&I, Kingsville. Migrant, full ride scholarship. And UT Austin, a full but good tuition. 3 colleges. And my father says, no, you're not going. Dad, I got 3 scholarships. No, you're not going. You're gonna get married, you're gonna work, and you're gonna continue being a wife and a mother. And if you want to go to college, you can go here. Those are choices. Well, being a rebel and in love with my first boyfriend and only husband, happily married today, I chose, and my father was strict. We wouldn't go to the movies. Only place that we went out was school and church. Those were our 2 outlets. The first time that I sneaked into a movie, I felt like I was doing something like drugs. Because we never go to the movies. You were not allowed to go to the movies because in my dad's mind, things happen in the movies. So the first time, Kylie with the boyfriend, we go and I said, I hope nobody watches me. Nothing happened, but in his mind, I think I was gonna be raped at a movie theater. So I married Ephraim because I wanted freedom. I couldn't go to college. He said I could go, but under his rules, and I had to work, and I don't mind working. I was working. But I had a difference to be with the men I love and have fun, and then I'll have outings. And that's what I did. The day of the wedding, the car comes to pick me up, and my father tells the driver to go away. And I said, Dad, it's my wedding. I'm married at 12 noon. And he says, we need to talk. And tells the driver to leave, and he tells me, you don't need to marry. You can go to college. Cancel the wedding. I'll find a way. You want to go to Ohio? I said, Dad, those colleges are gone. Well, you can go here, but I want to marry. Now I want to marry him. And he says, no. I said, Dad, I'm gonna marry him. And I married him. And I have no regrets, but I'm telling you, the reason I did it was because I wanted freedom. Not, I mean, thank God he was the man, but I made a big mistake. So I tell you that changed a life for me. I went to college, I have a PhD, I'm very honored, but how did I get here? People like you. And that's what we need to do for your daughter, and for our granddaughters, and for our own children, and for other women, for anyone. I'm very inclusive. I'm not saying that I'm not biased. There's biases on us as a mother, as a grandmother, there are biases. But the biases that we need to aspire is to provide every child with the best opportunities. But there is a sense of urgency to do more for our females, because there is inequity. We cannot be blind. If there is inequity on salaries, inequity on accessibility of resources, opportunities for advancement. So there still exists. Preferences of males for law enforcement versus females. They see us as weak. Even an administrators, they think my nurturing side is a weakness as a leader of a school district. So biases exist, inequity exists, but how do we do it? And I ask you to do this, by asking and inspiring others to do their best, to help them make dreams come true, to have aspirations in life, to inspire and be supportive, to have a plan of action that as you walk the talk, you model for kids. Right now, I'm very honored to have P-TECH in Early Valley High School, where my top welder is a female. She will beat any guy on welding. And she's gonna get her associate degree before she graduates from high school. So I have had students in Early Valley High School, 2 girls. They were my most avid students of dropping out. In 2020, graduated with an associate's, 2022, graduated with their bachelor's degree. We have a sphere of influence, all of us. In any capacity, you don't have to be a PhD, you don't have to have a bachelor's, you don't have to have a master's. You can be just like my mom, who had aspirations for me, who inspired, who modeled and said, just because I do this to your dad, that's not what I want for you. You don't have to put up. I want you, if you don't like it, that you can get out of the marriage. Marriage should be a commitment of respect, of love, not submissiveness. Just because I put up with your dad, and he yells at me, and has all this, and he goes out drinking and go out with women, doesn't mean that's what I want for you. So you gotta, inspire, aspire, be role models, mentor, and walk our talk. And when you see somebody, take a time. How are you doing? We women need to be empowering other women, and we need men also to empower us. We need each other. We need to change this life and cycle and end inequity, and create equity, and create every child, whether it's a male or female, give the best of themselves. That's all we can ask. And that we be the sphere of influence. Just like Mr. Horn, when I bought me young, taking an afternoon off to get the papers, to take me out of bilingual, to enroll me in honor classes. That's work. That's an extra step that he didn't have to do. And sometimes it's okay when we make tough decisions and people hate us for it, because sometimes I see us parents want to be our kids' friends. We are the parents. Time will bring you to the friendship. Right now, I can tell you, out of my 3 daughters, I have 2 best friends. My eldest and my middle one. The little one is still a rebel. She still doesn't want to talk. But she will come around. But even if it's okay, I ever not develop that friendship, I still be the mom and will love her forever till God allows me, and even beyond if He allows me. So I leave you with those words. Be proud of who you are, and don't let the gender be the biases. Be the influencer. Be the one that will push somebody, hey, you can do it. Whatever you want, I want to be this, it's only for me, no, it's for everybody. Whatever the dreams. And just check in with each other. Right now, you're so isolated, check in. How are you doing? How's everything? And always instill, go to college, go to school, go get another certification. We should be pushing each other to reach our maximum potential. And I tell you 3 things that are powerful. Empathy. We gotta have empathy for others. We gotta have empathy, not sympathy. To feel their pain, to really have the empathy. The other one is to be kind. To be kind, to do something small just to say, can I offer you something? Can I guide you? When somebody's lost, or just checking in, how are you doing? How's your mom? How's your health? Be kind. And the last one that I think is more is to love. To love one another. To be servant leaders. To put others first. We live in an ego-centric, it's all about us. No. It should be about loving each other. Caring for each other. And it doesn't cost money. It's free. So I leave you with those words. I'm very honored. I'm very blessed to have had people like you and know that each one of you have that power to empower others to be their best. You got it. And it costs $0. Love you guys. Thank you for this honor to be here. Love you.